In 2007, 50 Cent was on top of the world. He'd released two of the best-selling hip-hop albums of all time and had a record label that was becoming a household name. And as he was about to release his third album, he was in a highly publicized feud with Kanye West. The feud was about their albums releasing on the same day, and 50 Cent claimed that if Kanye's album sold more than his, he would quit music. 50 Cent didn't win this feud, and he didn't quit music either. In fact, Kanye's album Graduation went on to sell almost 1 million units in its first week. But 50 sold over 600,000 records first week as well, and the event made history as only the second time that two albums sold more than 600,000 in the same week. Not a bad way to lose if you ask me. But this strategy is nothing new to 50. In fact, it's the main reason he rose to fame when he dissed almost every big rapper on how to rob. And he continues to do the same today, with even bigger business deals. He disses his most direct competition to start a brand war. And in the end, even if he loses, both brands end up all the richer for it. It's not a new strategy, but it's one that he's perfected and done on the highest level, causing many to try and replicate it. For some, it works tremendously. For others, it leaves them in a worse position than they started. And my goal, as always, is to dive into these big moments and see what we, as marketers, entrepreneurs, and creatives, can learn from it. So I want to find out why it is that 50 keeps winning by starting beefs and other rappers ruin their careers by doing it. It's all in the details that makes the difference between genius and just plain reckless. So let's learn some more in this deep dive into the marketing school of 50 Cent. So before we dive into the students of 50, we need to learn exactly what it is that he's doing. On the surface, it may seem that 50 is an impulsive person who loves to start beef, but on the contrary, he's actually a very calculated and calm person, despite the extremity of his actions. He wrote a book with the legendary author of the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, and he had this to say about 50.
The main thing that I got from 50 is his calmness. Whenever things are going on around him that are or people are panicking, etc., he is always very calm and secure. And I've always sort of admired that in him, and I always wished I had that quality.
So we know he's not an impulsive guy and that he's actually pretty strategic, but the question is, what is the strategy? Well, in the beginning, when he dissed the biggest rappers in the game, he did something called trend jacking. This is when you take a trending topic or a popular event and spin the narrative to involve yourself in the conversation, which leads to people mentioning you alongside the trending topic. It's a very popular content creation tactic, and we see it when creators do commentary or responses to things that have very little to do with themselves. I've even used it myself when I do commentary on trending topics. So when 50 Cent challenges Kanye West to a sales battle, he's now automatically put on that level because he's seen as the only competition. But beyond this, he does something else. He knows that when he attacks the opposition, both of them will benefit. 50 Cent understands that everyone loves a good rivalry, and great rivalries have the potential to elevate the industry you're in as a whole. 50 did this when he got into television by releasing the show Power. He created a beef with the show Empire, which was in a similar lane as his, and put his name in the competition. And he was very intentional about it.
The mind of 50 Cent, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a minute. How strategic is he as a person?
I realized the man was a marketing genius, bro, when he sat us all down, he sat the cast down, and he was like, yo, Empire, they on Fox. They got the big bag. We can't compete with them with their marketing or their promotion and advertising. We're on Stars. We cannot compete. But I'm going to start a beef with them that they have to mention us every time they get interviewed. And make whoever is the interviewer ask about, did you hear what 50 said? About Power being better and everything. So I saw how he attached himself to $100 million promotion, and it put us like this, the pit, like, oh, what's better, Power or Empire?
And not only did Power receive a boost, Empire got a boost in popularity as well. When you start beef with a similar competitor, people will want to see both options to compare them, even if they weren't a fan of either in the beginning. This is exactly what fighters do when promoting a match. It gets aggressive and nasty, but no matter who wins the fight, more attention means they both win. When 50 is punching up, he knows how to hop onto their wave and use their big budget and brand to his advantage. So now that we have a pretty solid idea of what 50 Cent's strategy is and how he uses it, let's take a look at some of the people that have tried to copy it to varying levels of success. One of the more infamous students of 50 Cent is Tekashi 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine started his first notable beef with Trippie Redd, and honestly, it worked pretty well. They were both stars on the rise who were previous friends, and it helped them both gain more attention. And fun fact, I actually saw Trippie Redd years ago in concert, and 6ix9ine was actually opening for him, and I had no clue who this guy covered in 69 tattoos was, but that has nothing to do with this, I just wanted to mention it. Anyways, back to the video. As much as this helped him achieve some mainstream success, his further attempts weren't as successful. 6ix9ine has since beefed with tons of rappers like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and The Game. The problem here is that he was coming for rappers with a lot of street cred, something he doesn't have. And this was made much worse when he got into legal trouble and took a plea deal to get out of it. In other words, he was known as a snitch, which is probably the worst thing you can do for your street credit score. See, when 50 Cent came for other people, he was strategic in picking opponents that he could profit off of, even if he lost. When you get shot 9 times, you earn a lot of street credit, and 50 knew to attack street rappers with just as much or less credit as him. In the same vein, with his show Power, he attacked Empire, another dramatic show centered around music and black culture. He wasn't dumb enough to attack Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, which would put him up against shows he wouldn't compete with. 6ix9ine forgot about the strategic part and attacked rappers that could easily beat him with street cred. Sure, in the short term, he gets his name in headlines, but in the long term, it really hurt his brand. No one wants to be the guy that gets caught listening to a snitch. He might have been able to save it had he been more civil as well, something that 50 Cent does. When 50 challenged Kanye, it wasn't about street credit or artistic ability, it was simply about album sales. 50 challenged him in the one area that they were comparable, as successful rappers. 6ix9ine challenged rappers on their own turf, and while he still has a career, I don't think he ever fully recovered. Now I want to show an example of someone who used this strategy and won. And one of the best examples I can think of is Soulja Boy. Around 2018, Soulja Boy started a viral beef against tons of rappers claiming they stole his style.
Tiger?
Okay.
Tiger? The nigga that lost his bitch to Travis Scott? Yeah, Drake? Drake? The nigga got bodied by Pusha T? The nigga that hiding his kid from the world, but his world wouldn't hide from the kid? Aubrey Graham in a wheelchair? Drake?
Yes!
Almost every time Soulja Boy calls out a rapper, he does it when they are trending in some way. And then he follows it with a product or a song or something that will make him money. He's consistently trend jacking, and when they come for him, he doesn't seem to take it too serious. He's okay with being turned into a meme, and because of that, he's only judged on how much attention he brings in. He doesn't have the same street credit as 50 Cent, but it doesn't matter because his brand is built around his ability to gain attention. Because of this, he's able to have successful brand deals, products, and hit songs based on these viral moments. He started his career as one of the first artists to use the internet to blow up, and he continues to do the same by manufacturing low-level controversy. So what can we learn from this strategy, and who is it really for? Well, for one, we know that you need to be strategic when you use controversial trend jacking. It's a big risk, big reward strategy, and when you choose your opponent, you either need to be sure that you'll win, or that even if you lose, you can still come out better than before. Grant Cardone does this in the business world when he attacks other businesses. Even if he loses, he gains the credibility of being mentioned alongside these people. Then you need to consider who you are as a person before you do this. You have to be resilient to hate and attacks to do this, because you're going to receive a lot of it. Plus, you have to be able to own anything that could be used against you. 50 Cent is pretty shameless about who he is, so when people come for him, it rarely hurts him. Finally, you need to fully understand your competition. Not understanding what you're up against can be a fatal mistake. Some people will play along with it and they benefit with you, but some huge brands will simply crush you with overwhelming resources. Take Disney for instance. As nice as they seem, they will not play into controversy. If you try this with them, they will crush you with money and legal fees. So in short, choose your battles wisely. If you're not a person that's built for conflict, you're better off using a less controversial strategy. You can still use trend jacking without attacking someone. It might not get the same level of attention, but it will still help you a lot. So do you feel like you could use this strategy, or would you prefer to leave it to the people like 50 Cent? Let me know in the comments if you feel like this is one for you. Whatever you feel, I hope you learned something from this. Even if you don't want to use this strategy, you should know if it's being used against you. So just keep that in mind next time you feel like someone's attacking you. Anyways, keep creating, keep doing your thing. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.